Too Close for Podcast, episode 220. Well, that's the episode number that we're talking about today. This is actually episode like 38 or 39 or something of the podcast itself. That's besides the point. This is A Matter of Degree, which first aired March 23rd, 1982.
That's a clever title.
Yeah. I think I just now caught that. Not nearly as confusing as My Favorite Martin.
Let's not even get into that right now. Well, so this time, we find Henry trying to work. He's drawing Cosmic Cow, while Monroe is getting ready to wallpaper the nursery.
So April's room is now becoming the nursery.
Yeah. He's waiting for April to get her things out of the room so he can begin the wallpaper job.
And then we get Camouflage April, a brief appearance by Camouflage April, removing the rest of her stuff. Who may or may not be wearing a wig. I cannot tell. That's a whole other discussion.
And then Monroe ends up... You go ahead and tell him.
He wallpapers Henry. Right in his face.
Later, Jackie comes into the kitchen and tells Henry and Muriel that she was down at Balaban's furniture store and ran into Mr. Balaban. I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
You say Balaban, I say Balaban, 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 Balaban. Let's call the whole thing off.
Which is Rapkin's bum.
It is. We haven't seen him since then, I don't think. He does reoccur several more times, to the point where I now have a Balabans category I am keeping track of.
And Mr. Balaban insists that he will pay for the furniture for the baby's room.
Including a stuffed panda and a stroller.
Well, that comes later.
Turns out that's all there was.
Well, I imagine the furniture was coming later.
That's true.
Couldn't bring all that furniture with him.
Because we never saw the nursery, so why would we see the furniture that's in it?
And Mr. Balaban says that they can repay him by inviting him to dinner on Thursday.
Oh, Thanksgiving?
Well, he's used to eating there on Thursdays, I guess.
Yeah.
Then Sara comes up and tells her parents that she's dropping out of school to work at a TV studio. We don't even find that out at this point, do we? To work, she's dropping out of school, and then she runs away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Monroe finishes the nursery job, and he runs away. Does that sound right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Sara comes up to talk to Henry, but Henry walks out on her. He will not have this discussion about quitting school.
To become the weather announcer.
Announcer. Yes, that is correct. And then Henry says he doesn't care what she does, but she's not quitting school. Sara hears this and announces that she's moving out. And I think that's Act 1.
Mm.
So now it's Thursday, and Wendell is there for dinner. And he's brought the gifts of the panda bear. Was it a panda?
Yes.
He brought a big stuffed panda bear for the baby.
Valued at over $1,000.
And then he starts talking to Henry about Sara and convinces Henry that he should go downstairs and talk with Sara. A lot of things happened in this act, but...
Yeah, such as a lot of alcohol jokes.
Yeah.
Make me one of those. It looks good.
So that's Act 2. So later that night, and apparently in the middle of the night, Henry goes downstairs to talk with Sara, knocks on the door. April answers in what Marty described as her real voice.
Yeah, it's not screechy. We're like, what, Uncle Henry? What do you want?
And then he goes, April wakes up Jackie. Jackie comes to the door and says, and she's mad because April woke her up. And then they wake up Sara, and Sara lets him in finally.
Sara got to that door really quick, didn't she? Boom.
Well,
Surprise.
April was yelling Sara the whole time, so.
Yeah, she woke everybody up pretty much.
Sara tells Henry to sit down, and then he sits down on the couch and ends up sitting on April, who gets pretty upset by this. Like she's already been kicked out of the room upstairs, now she's getting kicked out of the couch.
Mm-hmm. And pretty soon getting kicked off the show.
And then she goes to sleep in Sara's bed. Henry says that he'll stand behind Sara's decision even though he doesn't agree with it, and she doesn't have to move. Sara says, really? Because I've already decided not to take that job and stay in school.
What was that show called? Daybreak at Dawn or something like that?
Dawn in San Francisco.
Oh, Dawn in San Francisco.
So everyone's happy, except for maybe April.
Yeah.
And then the
slamming
episode's
doors.
over. Act 3.
So, down the line, when she does eventually get the weather announcer job, it's funny because it even says announcer in the wiki. We'll have to see if it's for that show. I think it's just for like a news broadcast or something, right? But I think it's a season 3 episode where that happens.
Well, usually if you started these jobs, you would start in the morning. Like you gotta pay your dues. Maybe you work to the noon show or. Okay.
Well, we had April. Not really interloping, more just kind of being there and being aggravated. But she wasn't too aggravated when she was moving her stuff. Like I was saying earlier, we need a series of graphic novels detailing all the events that happened in between episodes to truly know the April story. Other guest star was Wendell Balabin, back once again.
Rafkin's bum.
Yes, also known as Rafkin's bum. From way back in, well, you remember that episode. I don't recall the exact number here. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Just for you completists out there, Rafkin's bum was episode 6 of season 2.
Wow,
It was a season 2 episode. So let's just cross-reference this and see what the answer is. Yes, April was in that episode.
Okay, then.
April
still,
in Balabin's past.
Rafkin never mentioned April, your niece.
Well,
your beautiful niece.
She wasn't around at the time. She was backpacking through Europe or whatnot. See, this is why we need those graphic novels. But anyways, the Cosmic Cowl, yes, we saw the drawing desk, including one sequence where Henry was penciling in something without wearing the puppet. But as you said, he probably just gets the basis of it down with the puppet. And once again, these details. Henry talks to Cosmic Cow briefly. Henry's sweaters, kind of important this week. It was a Colgate, which is a what was it again?
A liberal arts college in New York.
Yeah.
Hamilton, New York.
Hamilton, New York. Ranked number 5 on colleges to go to if you want to get rich. Monroe was wearing stripes. Now, this was production number 221, but it was episode 220. Now, there's only 22 episodes this season, so next week's is 222, which was actually, I guess, planned as the final episode. And then the final episode of the season, in actuality, was production number 219, Don't Shoot the Piano Movers, which we'll be getting to here before too long. 3 instances of Henry pointing. Some good ones. Like right off the bat, pointing at Monroe, doing that wallpaper. Balaban! Balaban alert. Jackie comes into the kitchen and says Balaban twice within a minute. A mention of Muriel singing during the scene between Muriel and Sara, basically saying that nobody in the family has ever graduated college, and that's why it was important to Henry. She didn't get a degree. She went right on the road with the band. There's a mention of Muriel singing again. They managed to sneak that in there. Andrew, well, we had some bump shenanigans. She's back to having a hard time getting off the couch. Muriel, that is. And couch flip, not really, but we did have that sitting on April incident, which involved Henry being flung off the couch. And boy, did April look upset at that point.
She's a good actress.
The intro was the classic Monroe in the chair looking shamed. Music cues, I did hear the one note, although it was a slight variant on it. I heard that while we were watching it the last time through, and this one had an unusual music cue, the somber music at the end when it got all sappy and all that, you know. I'm giving this on a scale of 1 to 5 a 4. This seemed, I don't know, it was kind of all over the place, but there were some moments that I enjoyed. Bizarreness, well, Monroe's wallpapering / humming / whistling / harmonica playing, that was bizarre. And of course, the instance of April's normal speaking voice when she answered the door and it looked like there was just pitched nothing behind her. I wonder if that door really did lead to that set. Makes you think about these things. What did we learn this week? That Henry must be wearing all those college sweaters for a reason. He wants his kids to go to college. It took me a while to come up with something for that one, but... All right, next week, another classic. They wrapped up season 2 in style. Even though the last 2 episodes of the season were burned off in May, 2 months after this episode aired. That was typical of networks to do that back in the day, right before the seasons ended. Next week, very long episode title. A policeman's wife is not a happy one. Jackie and Brad have marriage issues. They're not married, they're having issues about getting married.
I forgot all about Brad.
Yeah, Brad's second appearance. We haven't seen him since episode 210, and he is portrayed by a new actor now. So the old Brad Turner only played him once. And we get quite a litany of guest stars next week as well. So we'll be back for that one.
You can hear my show on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Create custom playlists. Rate and review my show on Stitcher. And over 4 million car dashboards.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no syncing, no wasted memory. Stream your favorite podcasts. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store.